MLG Pro Championship coverage here from the MLG.TV arena in Columbus, Ohio. My name is Courage, joined by Chance here at the analyst desk. Chance, we have our next matchup coming up very soon between Optic Gaming and Rise. Let's see where this matchup goes.
Yeah, without a doubt, Optic Gaming going against Rise next on main stage. This is kind of a match. Most people definitely going to be predicting Optic Gaming to win. But Jack, we had an opportunity earlier to cast over Rise when they were playing against TK. Now that was a game that went into a 4-0. Rise looked incredibly good the entire time. All four players, again, I was saying it earlier on main stage, were playing incredibly well. That's one of those things that potentially, if they can carry the momentum over, that's going to be going in their favor. Optic Gaming have yet to play a match today. That's going to be going in their favor. Sometimes they have slow starts on Fridays. That might be going in Rise's favor.
Prior to getting into the whole breakdown of this series, let's quickly talk about what we just saw. MLG.TV/finals.
Yes.
That's coming up in just a short amount of time. Obviously, New Orleans, a great venue. So many games can be played.
Oh my God.
$250,000 on the line for Call of Duty and even more prize money for other games as well. Be sure to pick up your tickets. Go out there and play. Massive open bracket going on. Hey, you don't even have to just play in COD. You can play in other games too.
That's what I'm saying. Not only Call of Duty, Smash is going to be there, which I'm a huge Smash fan. I grew up like playing Nintendo games, so I'm looking forward to that. And then, of course, like Smite's a new game. Dota's going to be there. It's going to be crazy. And, you know, it's insane what's going to be going down at the event. It kind of recalls back to like MLG Anaheim where just the crowds are insane. Games going on left and right. Just big play after big play for different kind of games. Insane stuff going to be going down at finals.
Over $500,000 on the line that weekend. You will not want to miss it. Celebrate MLG's 100th event with all of us down there in New Orleans. But back to this event.
Yes.
The MLG Pro League Season 3 Championships. Our first Winners Bracket 2, Round 2 matchup between Optic Gaming and Rise is going to get started momentarily. Chance, going into this one, we had the honor to cast Rise versus TK earlier.
Yep.
And to be quite honest with you, it was extremely one-sided.
Yes.
Rise won that one 4-0. Do you think they're going to keep that momentum going up against Optic Gaming?
Well, here's the thing. When I thought, I thought they would make it competitive, and then we had the opportunity to take a look at the maps that are going to be played. And there is no retreat hardpoint, which obviously is kind of like Optic Gaming's bread and butter, but there's 3 DLC maps that are going to be played. And if you haven't watched Optic Gaming play on those DLCs, they're good. They got really good, really fast, and I just automatically, I think they're going to be able to win those. Now, granted, one is Riot S&D, and that's kind of one that can go either way. But still, Compound Hardpoint's going to be there. Parliament Uplink, I believe, is going to be there.
Yep. That's games 3 and 4.
Yeah, I think there's going to be so much momentum in Optic Gaming favor. And, of course, they're kicking off with Detroit Hardpoint as well. Like, Rise again, maybe, but I doubt it.
Yeah, one thing to point out, Game 7 is going to be that Skyrise Search and Destroy. It's a map that Karma is very strong on. He always pulls the Moors out on that one. Continues to perform well for Optic Gaming. Search and Destroy, they've looked 100 times better since UMG DC. But coming into this game, player to watch for me on Rise is going to be Wheats. Was very consistent in that first series. He's going to be obviously one of the main ARs for this team. Can he go up against the likes of Formal as well as Karma when he pulls out the Val as well? Will he be able to match the slaying power that they have? In your opinion, do you think he's going to be able to get it done?
I always get asked if I think it can happen. Yes, I think it can happen, but I don't think it will. Again, 99% of the community, without even blinking an eye, is going to say Optic Gaming is going to win. Most people would predict the 4-0 as well, and that's going to be tough to argue against. So Rise, they're going against the Green Giant right now. It's insane what they're going to have to pull off. It'd be cool if we saw an upset earlier. Denial did get beat on main stage by Epsilon. Epsilon clutching up. It's going to be the same kind of situation that Rise is going to be able to have to pull off. If they go down and search, they're going to have to make ridiculous comebacks. And there you can even see you kind of got that apathy going against Scump as well. And again, I think most people immediately are like, yo, Scump's the guy. But you can see apathy putting up numbers as well. Same KD, few more uplink caps to his name, but of course Scump edging him out there in S&D. But nonetheless, 2 players to watch out for.
Scump's S&D and AW has been miles and miles ahead of what he used to produce in Ghosts. Obviously, a lot of people thought Nade was the best S&D player on that old Optic Gaming lineup. Scump throughout AW has been consistent. That's the key word with him. He's always dropping a 1.2 or above. It doesn't matter what the game mode is. Going into this map number 1 now, Detroit Hardpoint. For you, what's going to be the key to victory for Rise Nation to be able to sneak this game 1 off Optic Gaming?
continue the momentum that they were able to build up against TK. They're going to have to continue selling. Again, all 4 players were able to perform. You got Scump versus Apathy. Apathy is going to have not a phenomenal performance. He's going to have to go positive. He's going to have to break even. But again, all 4 players will have to perform. I'm also going to be looking at Burnsoff as well. Burnsoff going to be the guy that's in the hill. At least, he's going to be pushing out the spawns, trying to get the hill control, doing all of the damage, you could say. So he's going to have a nice performance. But again, all 4 players have to show up for this Rise squad.
Burns in that series versus TK probably played the most aggressive I've ever seen him play with that submachine gun on retreat hardpoint. I think he only knew how to press forward on his analog stick as he kept the pressure going. But guys, we are starting game number 1 of this best of 7 series. Casters, take it away.
Proud father, our cast-off contestant, Chance, is killing it this weekend.
Even Jack's not that bad.
He's doing pretty good.
Yeah, Jack's not that bad either. But I think this is going to be a pretty good series. Detroit Hardpoint kick things off. I think this is an OG staple. They're pretty good at this one. If you're looking at this series, just top to bottom real quick before we get into it, Recovery S&D, that's a little bit of a toss-up. The Riot S&D, that's a toss-up. Every other map, Chris, I really look OG favoring it, not shocked. So I think, if by miraculous chance Rise can come out, play like they did against TK, take this first map, be huge for the rest of the series, change the entire thing.
Now, I wanted to start off with Chino because I feel like this is the X factor. Apathy, also kind of a similar situation. If he gets going, he can be unstoppable. But really, Chino, when I watched him recently, he either goes big or he just doesn't show up. And I think against Optic Gaming, he needs a strong start to get it going here. Really young, talented player, and he's got a lot of support around him. Will he be able to hang with
I would say that is, you look at Rise, it's like, well, why can't Rise consistently play like they did against TK? It's because Chino and Apathy, their 2 most explosive players, they're either hot or cold. Like, how many times do we see Apathy come out and have, like, an amazing event, and then the next one, like, he has some games where you're just like, what's wrong with Apathy? So I think if these guys can start playing consistent, they can contend with anybody. But right off the gates, Chris, Optic Gaming up 30-4. Oh, yeah. It's a tough one for, Rise to get thrown into.
And Chino doesn't even have a kill, so I'm going to Scump. Scump's got 5 of them. He's on a 4 streak. He's got an ASM-1 in his back pocket. Now he's going to pull that out. Bow is going to be put on his back. And Scump almost got the moves from Chino there. Meanwhile, Crim6 is just sitting back, scoring.
Yeah, and he's going to be playing around the hill. And Crim's taking a whole different approach playing on OG, right? You don't see him put up the major numbers like you're used to seeing Crim6 put up. He's playing a lot more OBJ-minded. You always see him around the hill. You see him trying to orchestrate plays and uplink with the drone. But still, he is so explosive that I feel like when Crim wants to, he can do that. When Crim wants to do something, he can do whatever he wants.
Matt, Crim just made you sound so much smarter.
Yeah, I know.
And he's just continuing to wreck.
Yeah,
6th streak from Crim6.
When he wants to do whatever he wants to do, it's almost like LeBron James on the basketball court, right? Like when LeBron wants to do something, he just says, all right, I'm just going to go do it. I feel like Crim is the same type of talent, so to speak, in Call of Duty, though.
Sticking with the basketball analogies, what kind of a player is Karma?
He's a little bit of everything. He's not going to put up, that's why I drafted him on my Vulcan team, because he's going to put up around 30 kills a game, and he's going to do a lot of the OBJ work. You expect him to finish, this game may be a little bit of a lopsided, so you're not going to see a lot of camps, probably more defends from OG, just laying out of the hill. But I think, Karma definitely brings a lot to the team. He can do everything, and that's what's scary about OG is that there's 4 consistent players. Everybody is explosive, and they are just so, selfless. Like they don't have really a selfish player who really is just going to try and play for themselves the entire game. They're really, everyone's going to be playing around the hill. Everyone's going to be focused on wins and objective play.
Well, I'll tell you what, Matt, we highlighted Chino and Apathy as the X factors combined. They're 8-22. The other half of the team, though, playing pretty well against Optic Gaming. You got Wheat sitting even. He's got 3 caps to his name as well. You also have Burns sitting at 9-10. So they're keeping up with Optic in this swing. They definitely need their teammates to man up, though, if they want to get back. Currently trailing by about 50 points.
Yeah, and the issue right now, Chris, is they have to play for garbage time. And you see OG rotates to the next hill early, and they're going to win the gunfights in a Crim and Scump. But now it puts Rise in a bad spot. They're down by so much. They're going to have to play for garbage time on these hills. And regardless of whether they come back into this, I mean, they're going to need Apathy to play much better in this series in general. I mean, starting off 6-13 really early in the game. But you're going to need him to go off and kind of be that match to Scump, so to speak, if Rise is going to stand a chance.
And you just saw a formal pickup 2. Crim6 is going to grab 3, including 1 on Scump. but he will take control of the hard point. Formal providing some excellent cover. Look how aggressive Formal is being. Meanwhile, Krim is just scoring. You got Scump also watching their back. Optic Gaming is just rolling here in game number 1. I was worried that they'd be a little bit cold. They haven't played a match yet, but this is a new Optic on Friday.
Yeah, usually Optic struggles on Fridays, right? That's kind of been like the one way to beat them, knock them out into losers on Friday, and it makes the tournament pretty difficult for them from there on out. But Rise is going to need a miracle to come back in this one, Chris, to be honest with you. They're going to have to play for the garbage time and then win the rotations for the next cells to even make this one close. And you can't put yourself in that type of situation, especially this early. Like, you go back earlier into the game, if they would have set up for Garage, this one might have been more manageable, right? They would have given up the entire second hill. They probably would have been down something like 80 to 15 or 20, but they could have got 40 seconds there, really started to make a comeback. And because they didn't do that, it's really kind of gone really lopsided towards OG.
I was talking to Chino, talking to Burns before this. Both guys, nothing but smiles coming into the match. They're really proud of the way the team played as a whole against Team Caliber. And honestly, Chino started off super slow. I saw him go on a 6 streak earlier. He's now leading the team at 17 and 19. Burns is continuing to hold his own. It's just Apathy, the one man who needs to catch fire.
For as much as they struggled here in the first half, it's not awful. I mean, you look at Apathy, I mean, he's double negative. I mean, he puts up a game closer to even in the first half of this game, and you're looking at like a 10, 15-point game probably. So can Rise turn it around? There's a chance that they can. I mean, the percentage isn't likely, but they're going to need Apathy to play much better in the second half if they want to make it close.
Going over to Krim 6. He is currently on another 4 streak. 7 captures to his name. He's plus 10 in this game. Krim, you say he's the objective man, but he is getting all of the jobs done so far.
Yeah, I mean, he is just on a mission. I mean, he is just, you can tell when a player's on when they're just shooting lasers like that. You see like some of the guys like, Octane with an AR on Envy, for example, and you can tell when their shot is on, they are just shooting lasers across map. Right now, you see Krim's shot is on fire. And on board with Scump, he's going to be trying to set up for these school spawns for OG. He's going to rotate back towards the middle, though, and just play for these last 10 seconds. Going to be able to get one. Not able to finish off the second, but you look at the spawns coming in. They're controlled by Optic Gaming for this next hill. Rise, we talked about it before, have to play for the garbage time, but I think this they put themselves in a bad spot towards the beginning of the game. That's really the issue here.
Carmo is just waiting to pounce over on Wheats, and now he's going to spout out the transitions, calls it out, knows the pressure is from this mid street, and he just lost 3 teammates. Karma's got to get at least 1 kill here, and that's going to be 4 down for Optic. The first time I've seen it happen so far this game. Chino's going to pick up another. Wheats is sitting inside, but still, your score differential, almost 70 points. They really need a big hill here. Wheats doing everything in his power to stay alive. Formal peeking him. And he's going to get some great help from Chino.
I tell you what, if Karma doesn't pick up that 2-piece, I was going to say, Rise has a really good chance of holding the rest of this time. I mean, right there, they kind of got 2 players reloading. Karma got pretty fortunate right there, but if he doesn't pick up those 2 kills, Rise pretty much takes the rest of that time. It's going to be a 20 to 30-point game going into Garage. That's a game where Rise can actually come back, and you're going to see Rise rotating towards that Garage hill first. They don't win the anchor position, though. Formal's going to win 1 gunfight. He's going to win a second one. That is going to be huge. I expect OG to flood this right away. They know they have the advantage.
Good luck, Burns. He gets the first. Almost got the second. Chino still inside to back him up. Down goes Chino, though. Apathy inside, and Apathy will clean it up with the help of Wheat. So nice rotation here from Rise, but it's really late in this game. They're totally not out of it yet.
They're still in this.
But they got to hold.
They're still in this, which is unbelievable. I mean, with the way OG's played, you'd expect, Rise to kind of have folded, but they are playing very well. They're going to be able to hold this Garage, for at least another 10 seconds without a challenge. And it looks like OG is going to fight off the back. Burns should be able to win. He kind of focuses some action on the stairs. If I think he would have played for that ramp, they would have been able to contest it. OG is going to break. But still, you see Rise, they hold it for a little bit, they lose 1 gunfight, and then the players start to move. And then OG just floods in and breaks it pretty easy.
Apathy was able to break in. He took out Scump and Formal. Chino helping out, actually, with those kills. Apathy is going to stay inside, though. Finds another one, but this is scrap time. Now it's on to the new hard point. How long can Burns stay alive is the real question.
And this is a hill, Chris. You can hold down for a very long time, and they win the initial rotation. So now you're going to see Chino try and push out. 2 kills go down in favor of OG. Scump kills Karma in the process, though. That's a huge win right there. Krim taking out Burns. This one should make it so OG can just keep flooding in from the backside of it. Now they have control of the spawns. They should be able to hold it. And Rise, in this second half, they played so much better. It's like night and day compared to the first half. They play like this in the first half of the game. This is a 20, 30-point game towards the end here. It's very close.
Well, I know the Optic fans really want to see their favorites shine here in the final moment, so we'll focus purely on Optic Gaming. Just look at these stat lines. You have 36 and 26 from Crim6. Formal right behind him. In fact, leaping ahead of him now. Hits his 40 bomb. Scump also doing damage at 34 and 30. And then you got Karma, who's been doing a lot of the rotation work, a lot of the call-outs so far in this game, is going about even.
It's like Karma starts off really hot, and then Formal and Scump start to heat up, and then he just like stops getting kills.
Yeah.
But there's only so many kills they can get on the map. So, I mean, once those two guys start to heat up and Crim is playing the way he's playing, there's really nothing left for Karma at the end of the day. And Crim with a monster game one, 38 and 29, 10 caps. I mean, the guy does it all. And the score is going to look, I guess, more lopsided than I think this game was. I think this game was a little bit closer than what the score is going to be. Formal's going to pick up a nice 2-piece. I was picking up a 3 there at the end. But I feel like if Rise, they got a better game out of Apathy in the first half, this would have been really close.
Yeah, honestly, Apathy and Chino didn't show up until minute 3.
Yeah.
And then it was Chino who kind of took over at the end of that garage hard point. So if it was a little bit different, like you said, to start off this thing, we would see a much different outcome in terms of score, but I think we'd see the same winner coming out on top. It's Optic Gaming. Looking strong here to kick off the night.
Yeah, I mean, through the first half of that game, it looked like it was going to be an 100-point club for OG, and Rise just made an unbelievable comeback, just not enough time. OG just too strong. I mean, those 3 Slayers at the top, they're playing like that. I don't think there's really any team that can contend with them, to be honest. I mean, when you have 3 players playing like that, I mean, you need a team like Envy, a team like FaZe really put together a full, across-the-board, just spectacular game to beat them.
To Apathy's credit, he did drop 10 captures. Unfortunately, wasn't able to stay alive in the hill very long. Now, there's an angry Chino, and at the end of that game, he just looked over at Apathy, and he looked over at Wheats, and he yelled at the team. We need more. We need more pressure. We need more kills. Chino, the youngest guy on this squad, is acting as a leader. We'll see, can he get his squad fired up heading into Search and Destroy, which is coming up next.
Yeah, and S&D Recovery, I think that's a map that, Rise can win. I mean, OGs, their S&D's gotten better over the last, I would say, month and a half. It was really bad. Like when FaZe went on that little run where they won back-to-back, I thought that's where they really kind of hit OG hard. They went back, reworked some of their S&D stuff, but Rise, pretty good Search and Destroy team themselves. So I think this one will be pretty close. And then after that, you go back into a respawn. I think, Rise definitely can hang.
All right, guys, game 1 is in the books, but game 2 is just moments away. We'll be returning with your next map, Recovery, Search and Destroy, after this.
Yeah. Tired?
Yep. Can you tell by my switches?
Like that.
There's a look at our venue, guys. We are live here from the MLG.TV arena. If you're here in Columbus, Ohio, stop on by. Check out the Call of Duty action live. Of course, this is just day 1 of 3 from the Season 3 championships. $175,000 on the line. And so far, throughout our first 2 seasons, Optic Gaming takes first place twice. They've put a $60,000 in their bank.
It's been the only consistent placing team through Season 1 and 2. I mean, you look at the top 3, just going off the top of my head, nobody's kind of repeated, even in the top 4, I think you can go down to, other than that. I mean, they've won the first 2, and then, I think nobody has repeated, right?
Like
in the top 4, there's never been another team to place the top 4.
I mean, Season 1, it was Denial, Team Caliber, and FaZe in the top 4. Season 2, FaZe did get a 2nd place, Elevate and Caliber. Top 3, you would have been correct, though.
Top 3, I would have been correct.
Very close, Matt.
No,
Very close.
I extended it to, I screwed myself a little bit.
Did.
I said 3.
You did.
I extended it to 4. I felt good about it. It's a Maven stat.
It's a problem. You can't overextend in Call of Duty.
Nope.
It'll never work out. Here we go, though. Game number 2 loading up right now. We got Recovery loading up. I thought we were never going to see this map again.
I see what you did there.
And then it comes back for Season 3. I'm starting things off, though, but Formal. You dropped 46 kills. You deserve my screen, especially when you're opening up with a sniper in hand.
He's got the sniper rifle in his hand. You always want to go on board with the person with the sniper. And I think OG, they're just going to put a lot of pressure on AI. I mean, that's what we usually see on this map. I think, though, we have seen more teams try and force the issue up the middle of the map, which is an interesting call. And going to see Formal jumping up, just trying to get a little bit of a peeker's advantage on one of the players across the map.
Nothing happening quite yet, and we will see the first blood come from Chino with the sniper on the opposite end. Burns is going to hit a nade, but unable to finish. Meanwhile, Apathy in a gunfight down low is going to win that one against Scump. So defender's advantage paying off here. Karma's going to scoop up that bomb, going to find a kill as well, makes it a 2-on-2.
It's a huge kill by Karma because Apathy is in a power position.
Wow.
He's going to win another gun battle against Wheats. Wheats completely caught off guard. Chino, though, going to win that one. It's going to be a 1v1. I'm going to jump on board with Karma, and he's going to challenge right away. He's got Chino right underneath him, not able to win the gunfight. Chino with the pistol. Wow. A huge round 1.
And our camera was just a half-second late. Chino just flexed, and an LFG man just came out. 3 kills, 2 of them with the pistol, double stunned Karma, saving those grenades for the last possible moment.
And he's telling his teammates that you are better than them or him.
All of them.
Oh, everybody.
Doesn't matter which one, you're better than them.
It's good to see that confidence, though, right?
Right.
I mean, you have a really subpar game 1, and then to bounce back with a big round like that here in game 2, that's huge for confidence and momentum.
Wheats trying to make his way over, gonna get picked out of the sky. Meanwhile, Apathy slips by, but gets punished. Formal saving his teammate's life, and Chino is gonna clean up Karma. Chino continuing to impress here on the main stage. The oohs and ahs coming out of the crowd now.
And Chino's turned into Pomage in like 12 hours. So he's just running through players with the sniper rifle. And still a difficult situation. OG has to know that bomb's down. Scump and Formal just going to kind of play around it. They don't really have to overextend or check anything else, and makes Chino's life really difficult because he has that pistol in his back pocket, but he's going to force another 1v1 situation, and we have 2 snipers going at it. This is awesome to watch, Chris.
All right, you take Formal, I'll take Chino. Let's take a look at it, and Formal's going to say, I don't think so. Here's a look at it one more time, and your round-ending kill cam. The reaction from this guy, it's been insane since I first started watching him. Formal always impresses me when he's got a sniper rifle in hand.
I mean, he's been a pretty good sniper for a very long time now.
Since before he was even a pro at Halo, when he was a rookie at Halo, Formal was hitting crazy shots.
Yeah, I mean, that's the first thing that I kind of heard about him as a player, that he just hits these amazing shots, and he can do it at the pro level, right? I mean, there's some players that can do it just like against anybody. Pump stomp, but he does it at the pro level, which is unbelievable to watch.
Already you're going to see Karma get really, well, I guess not aggressive. He's about to jump out. His opponent falls in front of him, cleaned up by a teammate. Now you're going to see Burns up top, spotting Formal. Formal executed this round, makes it a 2-on-3. Chino in a gunfight, going to fall there. So now it's Burns in a 1v3, and really Rise is dropping too early. It seems every round you're seeing Wheats and Apathy fall in the first 30 seconds.
I almost feel like if Wheats and Apathy playing that aggressive, you can't have Chino as the last line of defense with a sniper rifle.
Right.
Because it kind of, it hurts his teammate as well, right? I mean, Burns then kind of has to play near to Chino because Chino can't really defend himself all that too well. I mean, he misses a shot, he's essentially dead. So
Burns
going to try and hit a snipe of his own, not able to do so. And I think what we're going to see develop as this map goes on is how long does Rise stick with the sniper rifle?
I don't even think, oh, he did get the shot off, and then Krim is able to punish. But I don't know, I let Chino go one more round on defense. I don't keep it out on offense.
No, I feel like sometimes teams end up screwing themselves a little bit because they hold on to the sniper rifle too long. And, you know, it's not working, and they just don't change. And then by the time they do change, it's like a 4-1 lead, let's say, for Optic Gaming in a map like this. So I think it's important that Rise realize, you know, what's working and what's not, and adjust right away.
You see Chino pulling out the snipe once again, forced to bring out the pistol. Meanwhile, here comes the sneaky beef. We got Krim making moves. Meanwhile, bomb was planted over at the A site. Chino with that pistol, no luck there. Cut out of the sky. Now a gunfight in the back. Karma is going to win that one. And meanwhile, we have Formal almost hitting that snipe shot. Going to miss just wide left of Apathy, but no fear. Karma is
How is he not
here.
dead? Okay, there you go. Well,
Apathy almost made magic happen in front of all of us.
He had Scump tagged up too. I want to say Scump was like full red, like absolute. And, you know, Apathy, he has a little bit more ammo in his clip. He gets another like half a second to turn around. He makes that one pretty interesting.
Yeah, I don't know why you guys nerf stuff. All right, 3-1 going into round number 5. Optic Gaming kind of steamrolling in the early parts of these games. Let's stay on board with Optic. Who's your player to watch, Matt?
You know, I think Formal with the sniper rifle, I think he's going to be playing over towards B this side. So this is a little bit interesting. They're trying to kind of isolate Wheats. I think, you know, 3 rounds in a row now, you know that Wheats is playing over there by himself. And that is the 3rd round in a row he's going to die over there. So
yeah,
they need to change something up. It seems like OG's kind of figured out where their setup is on defense and now just taking advantage of it.
All right, again, Apathy going to get a clutch kill. Faster reactions that time against Scump. Karma waiting. Knows someone is inside. The flank nowhere near to help out. And Krim is going to pick up that kill. So now it's App. 1v3. I
was going to say they don't have eyes on bomb, and as I say, I had 3 players just converging around the bomb.
It's
Apathy,
advanced warfare. You can get there pretty quick.
Yeah, Apathy can't do anything really in that situation. That's 2 rounds in a row he's been left in really difficult 3v1s, and he's tried to make the best of it. I mean, that time he picks up 1. Then he has a really, you know, nice pre-fire. I mean, that was probably the best play he could have made in that situation. It's just really difficult because I feel like Rise is not adjusting to what's going on. They need to throw some different defensive setups. It seems like OG's kind of figured it out.
Stay on board with Optic here through the defense. Formal, sticking with the big boy. And looks like right away you're going to see a mid action coming in.
Yeah, this is something you see more often now than when we first had it. When we first had recovery in the rotation, you never would have seen this. Now we see teams ran just different rounds. They throw it in, they just push right up the middle, and they get control of this B bomb site. Karma runs right in there. He gets taken out. This looks like a round win for Rise.
Wheats dodging the first bullet, able to punish. Formal gives him a little bit of a wiggle midair. 4-2, Rise still in it. Remember, they won that opening round with Chino getting 3 kills since then. They dropped 4 straight until this moment, as Wheats is able to finish off the pistol-carrying Formal. Will go into round number 7. Optic back on the attack. And is Wheats going to be the lone man going B again? That's the real question, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, let's see what their setup is off the break here. It's going to be Wheats heading over towards B yet again, but they're going to send some help over there with him. But now, looks like OG may try and force over at A, kind of go back to, I don't want to say their bread and butter, but this is definitely their favorite bomb site out of the 2.
And of course, the key player in this position, probably going to be the sniper. It's going to be Chino. Apathy pushing up pretty aggressive, going to fall already.
Yeah, Apathy was in a weird spot. He was on bomb, but just looking straight down towards that yellow plat. And he didn't have any cover fire behind him, so Chino kind of left him out to dry a little bit. Wheats, though, picking up Formal cross map, going to make it a 3v3.
Burns waiting for the rotation. You're going to see everyone pushing forward. Krim, shots on Burns. He's forced to back up.
You know, when I saw Burns get tagged up there, I just jumped to Krim. That looked like it was a bow. That was with an ASM one of those shots. That was pretty powerful right there.
Krim going to find Chino in the back, sniper in hand. He is going to be defenseless, and Krim now picks up 2. Can he finish off the 3rd? This would be a 1v2 clutch. His 3rd kill of the round.
I mean, Wheats doesn't essentially have to challenge here. I mean,
this is the ace here for Krim.
Yep. I mean, Wheats didn't really have to challenge there. Could have played one of the sites, but you knew where Krim was. Krim was not backing down from that challenge. He's feeling good about the way he's playing right now. Let's put it that way. He did not back down from that challenge of Wheats at all. Wheats had a great spot. He was behind that rock, kind of like a little bit of a head glitch. I thought he may have, if he was going to challenge, like just stay and challenge from that position at the start. But now I feel like Rise is so close to making both of these maps really, you know, toss-ups. I feel like it's just little kind of in-game adjustments that they haven't been making, holding him back.
Wheats looked like he was going to poke. Not going to happen. Meanwhile, Optic, pretty darn aggressive play so far. Going to get caught. Meanwhile, Burns planted. Formal sniper looking out. Going to find Chino, misses wide left. Shots going down from behind. And that's going to be Scump cleaning up Apathy. Looking through, Matt. This could go either way, to be honest.
This should be a Rise win, and it looks like Scump going to be the last one alive. He's going to have only about 20 seconds left to work with here. Both players on Rise. Burns and Chino know exactly where he is. This should be a fairly easy round win. The clock, there's not really enough time. Even if he picks him up, Chino is just going to pop out and check the bomb. This is a round win for Rise.
Great job. Good patience. Rise going to take it. Scump gets his 4th kill.
Padding his stats a little bit.
No big deal.
Padding his stats a little bit.
KD looks good for all you Vulcan users. And we're going to see after 8 rounds, Optic still on game point. Rise, that makes 2 out of the last 3. Can they keep it rolling here? They need to get 3 straight now.
If you're Rise, maybe on defense here, obviously it is, you know, map point for Optic. Maybe do something where you just stack A and just push down the A straight. But
yeah?
I think you can get a little bit of aggressive right here. Would catch OG off guard completely, and it looks like they're going to get aggressive.
Chino had Formal dead to rights, instead backs up. Apathy is going to get peeked over from the A site, and Chino is going to be executed. Optic Gaming's communication is excellent, and actually that was Formal who chased down both of those first 2 kills. Burns and Wheats left alive. Formal out of the action for Optic Gaming.
But Burns and Wheats were in no position to trade those kills off. And now Burns, he's going to drop at the hands of Krim, all up to Wheats here in a 3-on-1. But if you're going to get that aggressive, you got to go with everybody. You can't go 2 people aggressive and then 2 people on one side of the map. You got to be in a position to trade. Optic, you see right there, 1 player drops. There's 2 players swarming right away. They're going to win map number 2, 6-3.
I just felt like there was a lot of useless challenges coming in for Rise that game. There's a lot of situations where you should retreat, where you should run. Wheats here knows he's dead. 2 players spotted on the roof, and he is going to get picked off by Scump. Krim 6, 11-6 in that game. Scump right behind him with 8 kills. All of Optic, though, continuing to roll, as this so far has been a pretty one-sided series. But coming up next, we have Uplink. Matt, as you take a look at the map, it's going to be Parliament. Just how strong is Optic Gaming on this new DLC
like
game?
Chance was talking about on the DLC, they're a pretty strong team. On Uplink in general, they're pretty good. I mean, they really don't have a weak game mode, so to speak. I haven't seen too much from Rise on this map particularly, but from what I've seen from them in the series, obviously they had a great match earlier against TK. They win that one 4-0. What I've seen from them in the series so far against OG is that they can definitely make this interesting. They just need to, there's like tides in the game where if you make an adjustment, it's going to stay close. If you don't make an adjustment, the other team's going to just open up the floodgates. And I feel like they just haven't made those adjustments, and that's what led to these kind of what looks like lopsided scores from OG, but these games I think are a little bit closer than that.
The one thing I noticed down there was the faces of Rise Nation. Everyone a little bit down. Yeah. You saw just the confusion, the frustration, the hands behind the head. They got to get fired up between these games, and we'll see if they can come out swinging.
I mean, you lose this one. Compound Hardpoint is a very fast-paced game mode. That is one that I would not want to feel down and not into. That would be a bad game.
All right. Well, we'll find out how the rest of this series will play out. Guys, tweet us your predictions. Is this going to be a hot 4-0? Will Rise be able to bring it back? He's at Matt Mr. X. I'm at MLG Puckett. We'll read some of your tweets after this.
Yeah.
And we are back live from the MLG.TV arena. We currently have Optic Gaming going toe-to-toe against Rise Nation. This is winners bracket round 2. We're down to our last 8 teams in the winners bracket, and currently Rise Nation in a bit of a hole, dropping games 1 and 2. Well, Optic pretty much steamrolling them.
Yeah, right now, I mean, if there was a time for Rise Nation to wake up, this would be the time. I mean, if they don't win this one, I think we see that hot 4-0 you were talking about.
Who are you looking for from Rise? Knowing this is a respawn game mode, but you don't always have to outslay your opponent. Who are you looking for here in this uplink?
Apathy needs to play like we've seen Apathy play before. If it's the Apathy from the first map, this is not going to be a pretty one.
It's the Apathy from Ghost X games?
I mean, that's, yeah, that would be a good Apathy to show up.
I like that Apathy.
Yeah, that would be a solid Apathy to show up.
I've seen him recently, but not real recently.
Yeah, no, you definitely need him to go big. I mean, Burns, he's kind of your OBJ player, but he needs, the thing with OG is like when you play against them, they don't have an OBJ player in the sense.
They just have the guy who's done shooting, getting the hill.
No real team, I think, anymore has like a dedicated objective player, but I think, you know, you look, Burns is a more OBJ-minded player, but you need him to pick up a lot of kills. I mean, we've seen Denial, they've gotten better. Nope, obviously not today, they've lost, but they were playing better because Replays was doing a great job in the slaying department. I think you definitely need everybody to come full force against OG.
Oh, Big Ben's on fire. It's never good. We're going to Parliament, guys.
I've been to London, it doesn't look like this.
This has been
There's a lot of fire here.
A very interesting game type to watch. A lot of times we'll see very low scoring games, and then other times I watch total blowouts on this map. It all comes down to battles, so I'll be really surprised if you see any ASM ones. And off the break, it's all Bowels right away. We're gonna start things off with Burns. He actually cracked a joke before things started, tried to get the mood lightened up over at Rise. He saw a lot of frustration in his teammates. I like that he's now taking a bit of charge.
You need to. When you're struggling a little bit, somebody just needs to lighten up the mood, and Burns gonna pick up that first kill on Crim6. Wheats, I think, jumped off the map, so that's not a good start for him as well. And no, Parliament Uplink, for those of you who haven't seen it, pretty much all the action is going to happen on the drone side of the map.
Yeah.
You are not going to see any action on, if you're looking at your minimap, that right-hand side, you're not going to see any action go down over there. It's all going to be on the drone side of the map. And OG currently on the more favorable side. You see Scump doing some amazing things with the drone. Formal leading the way. Karma on a 5-kill streak as well. Doing a nice job locking down the Rise spawn as OG takes a 2-point lead.
The 2-time world champion is going to put 6 kills on the board and watch 4 points be scored as he leads his team so far. Crim6 now coming off the score, picks up another spawn kill, and Formal's just trying to control these spawns. Finally, Rise is able to break out. The question is, will they even be able to get to the drone?
They almost don't have enough time with how big this map is. When you clear your base out, you know, OG has at least 2 players, you know, providing, you know, you pick up some kills and they go effectively already at the drone. So it's kind of hard. You're going to have to kill them pretty much 2 times before you can get drone control and then make a push. And you see 4 kills go in favor of Rise, so they should be able to do that now.
Apathy kind of doing that heavy lifting up top. He was in that position that everyone's going to look at. Able to win 2 gunfights. Will fall though with drone in hand, and Burns, who is trying to get sneaky, sloppy shots, is called out and punished. So opportunity there for Rise. They had 3 up while Optic was all on spawn, just a little too slow and not the proper spawn slang.
It's so hard to score on the side from Rise's on because OG, when they spawn up right underneath their own goal. So to play defense on that second wave, they almost just kind of have to post up and just wait for you to run at them, and that's why it is so difficult. I think if Rise was able to get a 2-point play and then hold it to this, I think you'd be very happy with that going into the second half.
Now, what's the call there, Matt? Wheats just helped kill 3 people, and then they throw it off the map.
Just trying to reset the game, so to speak, trying to get some players over there and get a good push. There's no reason to just kind of force something just for the sake of trying to make a play. Then you end up giving the drone back to OG, and now you see Rise, because they've set up, they pick up 3 kills, they have 1 player push up by the OG base, might be able to take control and put up point on the board.
Karma just trying to play base D, knows that Chino's coming around, and Chino is going to hit the 1-point shot, but he falls off the map, so the slaying presence going to be missed for a little bit. Have to say, I'm really impressed with the way Rise is slaying so far. Everyone's staying about even. Apathy's been focused a little more on the drone, and Wheats leading the squad with his bow once again.
And they have drone control right now. I mean, they are in a position to make another...
No, come on.
Yeah, I was going to say they're in a position to make another play for, you know, either a 2 or a 1 point. But right there, Chino just jumps off the map. He was trying to jump on that outskirts. You can jump on that railing and then jump to the next railing and get around, and it's a good spot for cover, but we've seen players do that way too many times.
Yeah, at this level, you can't lose your footing like that. You got to nail every single jump in AW. Your movement has to be on point if you're looking to win on Parliament, because it's so fast-paced. You don't have much time to capitalize once you get those kills. Chino getting stunned up, trying to go for the drone. He and Burns are going to be in a gunfight here. Scump and Formal pushing forward, and it looks like Scump's going to win this one. Crim6, currently 12-9, has been taking a lot of flanking routes. This time, though, it's a 4-man supported push all down the middle, and Scump is going to be able to sink that one from a distance.
Smart play. Take the 1 point and now let the other 2 players that are still alive for OG try and set up in the Rise base. You see how far back Rise is pushed into their own spawn. It's unfortunate Crim killed Karma right there with a stun, so actually helps Rise Nation out a lot. They were able to break out. You see Rise going to get drone control as 1 player ahead of Burns, trying to clear the way. Looks like that is going to be Chino. Chino's going to pick up 2, Chris. This should be at least a 1-point play.
You only have 1 player in the base currently. Burns getting shot from all directions.
Fantastic play.
And he had the most health I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's a huge play right there, though.
Absolutely.
Makes it pretty close going into the second half. I mean, as long as they don't let OG put another 2 points on the board, this is a first half you are very happy with if you're Rise. And just a quick note, that's like the 3rd or 4th team kill we've seen so far in this. Just this
that was a
map.
tough angle. You only saw legs. You're going to go ahead and shoot.
Both sides,
I don't really blame Wheats for that one. The other ones were like, stun grenades kills on Karma. So it's hard to fault the players too much. But really, in the second side, I just need everyone to stay out of the water. Wheats has got to stay up top when he's got an opportunity.
I think if you're Rise, this is a huge win in the first half. To only be down 2, I think you definitely take that going into that favorable side. If they win the initial push, that should be a 2-point play right there. Then you're tied, and then you have another 4 minutes, let's say, to work with. I mean, that is a huge win for Rise Nation.
Crimbot cracking his robot spawn. Karma in your round and a kill cam. 14 and 12 from him so far in this game. Leads Optic Gaming. We'll start up side number 2. And really, who from Optic Gaming do you want to watch here from the more difficult side?
Now let's start off with Scump. He's running a bow. We usually don't see that too often. Scump usually, with the ASM-1 in his hand. It's fun to see him run a bow. Everyone on this map running an AR.
Scump has 3 of his team's 5 points, 1 from a dunk. The other one, a toss later in the first round. Burns setting up out back, is waiting for the push. Unfortunately, Scump's just going to go for a 1-point toss. Never shows himself. Crim6 still trying to apply pressure on these spawns. Full red, staying alive and causing problems, finally going to fall. Meanwhile, Formal on a long flank. So Optic Gaming, from the more difficult side, wins the opening push, and now you have Formal, who's in a huge position to capitalize, but Wheats is waiting for him.
Yeah, Wheats with a heads-up play right there. If he would have just held and his teammates picked up 2 kills and then Formal would have came out, they would have gotten drone control, probably another point on the board. And if you're Rise, that is not the way you wanted to start off the second half. A minute into the game, you give up a point to OG already. That you had it so close. If they would have won that initial break, that would have been huge. You could have opened up the floodgates.
Chino is in full-on man mode, though. I have to give him props for the way he's been playing. You saw a 3-piece a little bit earlier. Now he is trying to flank. 1 player will come off spawn right behind him, and unfortunately the timing just won't work out. He's going to be tagged up. That's 4 down, basically. Scump leading the charge now as the drone carrier Formal is right behind him, ready to score.
Yeah, and they are just doing a great job clearing the way. You see Scump, he's going to be just in front of Formal with the drone. It's going to be put in. OG with another point. Chris and Rise, it's been the story of the entire series. In this game, it's the first half they play well. The second half, they're not really playing that well. But the Hardpoint, the second half of the game, they kind of just fell apart. The S&D, every round was close. Second half of just the game, they never made those adjustments. And that's really been the difference in this series.
I love Karma's awareness. Even though he didn't even get a shot off there, he knew the player from the mid was going to attack him, trying to hide from Burns. Wheats is going to pick up the drone, forced to toss it. Crim6 being a thorn in their side. The flank again coming through. And look at it. This time it's Scump. Scump versus Apathy needs to go for the reload here. And this is a big fight for Apathy. Currently -4, Burns -7. These 2 players need to turn up here in the final 240 if they want back in this game. It's only 2 possessions, Matt.
Yeah, but they keep picking up the drone with nobody to cover him. Like, Apathy has the drone right here. There's nothing he can really do with it unless his teammates pick up some kills. I feel like you got to focus on the kills first, then pick up the drone and advance it up the map.
Yeah, he didn't get anywhere with that one.
No.
and Wheats didn't get any help. So kind of a double fail there. Almost better just to toss it off, let it reset, and Apathy keep pushing forward. At the moment, though, Apathy is going to use this spawn to try and loop back again.
Ooh,
this
he's going to
is
get
the
caught
third
off spawn,
time I'm going to see this fail, as a player coming off spawn should be able to shoot him in the back.
Formal misses a lot of shots. That is not Formal like those shots. And
go chase him,
he's going
Formal.
to chase him. Yeah,
Formal's
he's going to try and pick up kills. He had to finish him off right there. I mean, he doesn't pick up that kill. That just looks ridiculous. Krim putting in a 1-point throw, though. This second half has been dominated by OG from... It's an odd perspective because they're on the bad side. I mean, you expected Rise down 2 coming into the second half. You know, you expected them to get, 3-4 points. I mean, still not over, but this is it's kind of like disheartening if you're a Rise fan because they played this pretty well, all maps, and they just haven't been able to put it away.
Be honest, as a caster, it's hard to get fired up for this game so far. It just seems so one-sided. There hasn't been a huge flash from Rise Nation. They've never been able to get 4 down and then surge back-to-back scores. Every time they get a little bit of momentum, one player from Optic Gaming spawns up and causes all kinds of problems.
Yeah, they need one player to really just make a big play, spark everybody on the team, and then really try and lay it on. Doesn't look like they're going to win this map. I mean, only a minute left. Going in a compound hardpoint, they could make that one interesting. It's a little bit more fast-paced. They're going to really need to slay out well. Are they capable of doing it? Yes. I mean, they just need everybody to rise to the occasion. Then you have to take it one map at a time. You're not going to win the series by just winning that compound hardpoint. You have to focus down just on that one, win that one, then look towards that next map.
Well, Matt, I don't know about you, but I asked people to tweet us in between commercial breaks.
Yeah.
I'd say about 78, if not 80% of my responses were Optic Gaming 4-0. It's all looking that direction unless Rise can kick it up a notch coming into our next map, compound hardpoint.
I mean, it is looking that way, right? I mean,
yeah,
you see the first 3 maps, you look like it's going to be a 4-0, but this is a very good Rise team. I think they're going to go pretty far, in this tournament this weekend. I mean, they 4-0 TK. That's an impressive performance there. And then these maps have been a lot closer than what the score reflects, I think.
Team Caliber, they've been that team every single season championship that just comes in with a low seed and makes a run. Maybe it's Rise this time.
You never know. I mean, it is a possibility. I mean, Rise playing very well. They could drop down in the losers. They lose this next map and then make a run. I mean, they can make a miraculous comeback right here. Who knows?
And this one, though,
who knows,
a
Christopher?
Total blowout through our first 3 games. 31-24 from Krim. Formal puts up positive numbers, and Scump leads the squad +5 and 4 uplinks. Well-rounded play from Optic Gaming all evening long. On the other side, pretty lopsided. You have Chino dropping 32. Get this man some slaying help. They need to put up more kills if they want to beat Optic and Respawn.
Yeah, Chino's showing up in this one. I mean, he's just got to get everybody else fired up on the same page. He had a decent game out of Wheats. You really just need Apathy to play like Apathy. I think if he does in this next map, could be one that Rise could take.
All right, guys, 3 games done. 4th one on its way. We'll be right back.
The mountain will freeways are doing the work. Freeways by the sun. Right lines down. That could be the game right there. I think it actually is.
The MLG finals are just around the corner. They're coming up October 16th, and you can join Mr. X, Maven, Benson, Courage, and Chance all down in New Orleans.
It's going to be a fun one.
Probably the best one.
The 100th MLG event. That is a lot of events, man.
It's so many events. I've actually been to over 100, but 99 of the Pro Circuit events. I'm pretty pumped for number 100.
Yeah, my first event was Charlotte 2006.
We're like old school. If you're new school, welcome to the party, guys.
Yeah.
We're going into Game 4 right now. It's
Probably
Optic
weren't even
Gaming.
alive in 2006.
Right?
No, you actually probably were.
You just didn't have thumbs yet. Going into Game 4, Optic Gaming has been looking dominant as expected early on Friday. Rise Nation, big upset, quote unquote, over Team Caliber, 4-0'd them. Down 0-3. This is a big map for them, and honestly, outside of Chino, I haven't seen anyone be consistent. So
no.
I need a big game out of all 4 players. I'm really looking at Burns and Apathy, though.
I feel like the way, though, you beat a team like OG or a team like FaZe is you win one of those first 2 games. And then it just puts all the pressure on them. If you're an underdog, you have, you take one of those first 2 games, puts all the pressure on them, and then, let them deal with it. At that point, you're just kind of playing with house money.
I've been trying to tell the Rise Nation comeback story, but honestly, at this point, I'm just going to let Optic shine. Oh, right away, though, 3 go down.
4 off
Skunk's going to fall as well. So a good opening for Rise Nation. Chino going to be just trying to patrol inside the building, and he is going to find Formal. Can't finish it. Burns still picking up time. Karma knows exactly where he's at, trying to hit those Semtexes on the corner, falling just short. And you're going to see some pressure from Crim 6. He knows as long as he's alive, he will be contesting, and Rise Nation cannot continue to score.
Yeah, and it seems like OG going to go with 2 ARs and 2 SMGs off the start. So you're going to see Karma and Formal with Bals. You're going to see Crim and Scump with ASM1s. I think for that first hill, this makes sense. I think, though, with the way Rise is playing, you're going to really have to amp the pressure up and probably bring out another SMG. And I honestly wouldn't even mind if it's Formal. Like, Formal's really good with the sub. Yeah, I think Karma's a bit more of a passive player to begin with. So I think on a map like this, you wouldn't mind having Formal be the SMG player.
Karma on the long rotation. Crim 6 yet to get a kill after a minute 10. When was the last time you could say that? It was probably that Uplink game when he only got 9 total. But Crim on your screen now. Going to find Burns, who's waiting in the corner. Apathy's going to get team shot by Scump and Formal. And Scump is going to add another kill to the feed while Crim takes control of the objective. We'll see how Rise tries to mount their attack. Looking at the first shot, so it was just incredible setup from Scump and Formal to watch his back.
Well, the thing on this map, Chris, too, is if they have the 2 ARs, they get control of the hills, they're going to be able to hold them. I think the issue is that, Rise, they've done a nice job of getting the hills early, and then they're just not giving them up. They're just pushing out those players with the bow, and you see Karma on a 4 streak, trying to stay alive in the hill. He's going to drop. Now you're going to see the rotation start to come in. Wheat's setting up for this next hill.
Yeah, I was watching Wheats, and really there's nothing to peek at yet. His teammates doing a pretty good job slaying out in the middle. We'll go to Burns, who's in the new hardpoint, but also keep your eyes on Wheats. I think he's going to be the key player, needs to shut down this initial push, and he's going to get shot down. So Burns knows the flood is coming in. We said it was Burns and Apathy who need to open up strong. Both players very positive, leading the squad. Burns on a 3 streak from inside the hardpoint.
And Burns only picks up 2 kills there, but if you just paid attention on the minimap, there's 3 OG players around him. 1 gets picked up from up top, and then the other 2 challenge through the doorway you just saw Burns looking at. He picks up both of those. He doesn't get those 2 kills. They miss out on all this time. That's a free, 40 seconds for Rise Nation, and that's the difference in the score of this game. Just 2 huge kills by Burns, and sometimes I think, KD is a little misleading, because sometimes you're just picking up, I don't want to call them garbage kills, but you're picking up just kills, around the map, just in the flow of the game. Those 2 kills by Burns are huge. I mean, that's 40 seconds of hill time. That is 2 big plays right there out of Burns.
And it looks like they do have a player watching the flank. It's called out, and fortunately, sloppy shots coming. Apathy's able to win the first gunfight, but Scump comes storming in, picks up 2. Formal and Karma right behind him as well. And now it should be Optic here on the money hill. Scump's going hunting.
Yeah, and he's going to try and push this out. And it is such a difficult hill to break. If you're Rise, it's unfortunate because you got all that time in the last one, but it looks like they're going to give up all this time on this one. Look at how far they're spawning out. at the bottom of your mini-map. They're going to have to just force up this one side, and it is so easy to lock down if you're a team like OG.
Look at this, Matt. 25 seconds remain on this hill, and this could be a full, well, I'd say 50 points for Optic Gaming. Crim6 is going to be left back to score. Karma peeks out, gets one. Now he's flooded by two, gets a trade, but Burns is inside. Burns going to get outshot by Scump off the respawn.
Yeah, it was a 40-point game before this hill, and then Rise just gave it all back. It's going to be OG taking the lead here, and for as good as Rise has played here in the first half of this game, it's going to come down to this final hill. Should be able to get that early rotation. These gun battles are going to be huge. If they win these, they can build up that lead again, just like they did on that third hill.
I was going to call out the key player there on the flank was Karma, and Karma is shut down by Burns. Great awareness there. Meanwhile, it looks like Chino will be dropped from the hill, so they send just two on the left side. The flood works, and it's going to pay off. Apathy able to trade one. Wheat's now in a gunfight, but it's a tie game. Basically 5 minutes left on the clock here. What have you liked? What has Rise changed up here in game number 4?
They haven't really changed up much of anything. It's just Apathy's playing a bit better. I mean, this fast pace has kind of woken up Rise, so to speak. And I think, they rotate to that fourth hill a little bit earlier and don't give all that time to OG. This is a Rise team that's probably up 20 points right now. So you're going to see the score. I mean, OG played great in that first half. Not going to take anything away from them. But, I mean, Rise plays the same way they did. They rotate a little bit earlier to that fourth hill. This is a game they definitely have the chance to win.
Scump now +7, make it +8. Finally going to get cut down. Burns inside the hard point, but only for seconds. Apathy trying to make his way there. Formal is already inside. On the other side, he's got Karma with him. And we'll go over to Formal. He's pulled out the bow once again after a short stint with the ASM-1. He's on a 3 streak, and now he's really starting to heat up.
Yeah, his stint with the ASM-1 was maybe 1 respawn on that last hill. Pulled it out. You see Karma killing Formal with another stun. We've seen OG do that 3 or 4 times already in this matchup. Definitely going to have to be something they fix as the tournament progresses. But getting this little early lead, I'm going to be looking at that 3rd and 4th hill pocket. Those are going to be the 2 that are going to decide this match.
Crim trying to get sneaky, going low. Finds the player inside yellow, can't hit the shots. It's going to be Chino holding strong once again with the bow. Karma gets the call out, and now he's aiming to execute. Shots in both players, but no finish. Things are starting to work once again for Rise, but they're still trailing by a solid 30 points. We'll see, can they bring it back? Burns inside for the moment. That's not going to last very long.
Yeah, Burns rotated. Instead of just pushing that out and trying, for the next player to take the hill, he goes right into the hill, and that's an easy kill for OG to pick up, and they take it right back. But nope, Rise will not go away. You see Wheats diving in the hill. He's going to be able to pick up one. You see the swarm starting to come, though. OG applying the pressure. This is a hill that I think could potentially just be traded back and forth with the way these teams are playing it.
Chino spawned out so far, and you can see those spawns continue to come all the way across the map. But Compound, pretty small map, can make up some ground real quick. Apathy trying to get shots on the player inside. 20 points remain, so they definitely got to flush this, and they will be able to do so. As you look at Optic now, you have to think at this point the spawn's kind of favorable going into the new hardpoint.
If you're Optic, though, you can test this. That's a big, 10, 15 seconds that Rise just got there. They can win some gun battles on this rotation. It would be huge, and it looks like they do. There's 3 players for Rise right there. They're going to be able to take out Scump. So a lot like we saw in the first half of this game, Rise able to control this very important 3rd hill.
Wow, and look at them fall. Optic Gaming trying to push in, but Rise is holding strong. Guess who's inside once again? It's Burns after his 13th capture. Looked away for just a second. Felt the pressure from his left, but that was actually a teammate boosting, and Chino's going to clean up a 3-piece anyway. So small mistake, no punishment. Optic Gaming going to fall behind by 10 points. I think this is the biggest lead we've seen from Rise in the second half.
Yeah, in the second half, this is the biggest lead we've seen from Rise. We've seen a bigger lead earlier in the game, but this is where the game's going to be decided, Chris. 15 seconds left on this hill. If Rise rotates early to this next one, they have a real good chance of stealing this hard point. It's a matter of what OG decides to do as well. You see OG starting to just put pressure on the back side of the hard point. It's Scump back there. He's going to get taken out, but you see OG starting to rotate. There's 1 player from Rise already over there, though. These are huge kills to pick up as Weeds picking up 2. That is 2 big kills from Weeds.
And now Chino knows exactly where they're coming from. And you see Apathy going flying off the front end. Unfortunately, the split spawns come through. Rise is going to fall a 40-point advantage. could dissipate here as Optic Gaming is setting up strong.
Yeah, that is a huge break right there from Scump and Karma. I mean, Rise, they had control of it, Chris, and then they just gave it away. Just two fantastic individual plays. Now they're trying to fight back. They can only jump up that one side. OG, all they need to do is just pick these players up from afar, and Wade's picking up another 2 big kills. Apathy with a stomp. This is one that Rise can definitely steal.
Rise Nation trying to stay alive here in the winner's bracket. They need to finish strong. 65 seconds left on the clock. They lead by less than 30. It's now a 22-point advantage, and that is continuing to dwindle down. Final 5 seconds on the previous hard point before the rotation. Last hill of the game. 15 points separate these two squads.
Scump picks up 2 big kills here on the rotation. Karma as well, starting to move over towards these trailers, but it's Rise winning 2 gunfights. You see Krim and Karma trying to fight from the top side of the map. Burns doing a great job staying alive, though, and this is a full, complete game out of Rise. This is how they've been playing the entire time, just haven't been able to close it out in the final seconds. OG gets control of the hill, though, Chris. Rise needs to break once.
This is the last push for Rise Nation. They gotta get in. They gotta keep contesting. We're coming down last 17 seconds. Scump and Formal inside. Karma's here to help out. Can they just keep contesting? They only have to contest for 4 more seconds. Matt, they've done it. Rise Nation is gonna take Compound.
Rise steals Compound. I talked about it a little bit halfway through the game. I thought that if they rotated to that 4th hill, they did a great job taking the 3rd one on the first rotation. They gave up all that time on the 4th hill, first part of the game. Second half, they rotated early. They got the 4th hill as well. They barely hold on. It's not like they blew them out. They barely hold on, but still. Now goes to a Riot S&D. This is one they could potentially take as well.
Most importantly, this is the first time that Optic Gaming has been outslayed despite a positive 9 coming out from Scump. You saw just a strong performance. Burns is going to drop 15 captures, a 1.18. You see positive numbers coming out of Wheats and Chino with some clutch kills in the final 3 minutes. Apathy, you know, doesn't go positive
Played
here,
better, though.
but he had 9 caps and 7 defense from inside the hill.
And when OG, they have a player like Krim, you know, goes 29 and 41, not a good game. You have to really hit him when it hurts. I mean, we've seen them win games when they have players not play this well. And, you know, Rise takes full advantage of it and forces another game.
So you look at that, that tells me it was all about the SMGs. If Rise can get another short-range map, they could do some damage. Unfortunately, coming up next, it's all about the distance. Search and destroy Riot. It's always a toss-up. We'll find out, can Rise stay alive?
You're never gonna let me go, and I will never let you go. And now I'm feeling stronger, feeling stronger. Ooh, you're never gonna let me go, and I will never let you go. And now I'm feeling stronger, feeling stronger.
$500,000, that's what's on the line at the MLG 100th event. It is going to be our World Championship, the first one for MLG, and it's bound to be a historic battle. Optic Gaming, dropping their first map of the day, will now be facing off in game number 5 versus Rise Nation for another search and destroy, Matt.
And we saw them play this at UMG DC. I believe it was a 6-3 Optic Gaming win. So look to see if that may repeat itself.
And as we're waiting for the players to load up, let's take a look at 100th event here. It will be in New Orleans. No better city other than Vegas to party in than New Orleans. So come on down, guys. Check out all of the action. Not only will we have Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, we'll also have Dota 2, Smite on the Xbox, Super Smash Bros. Wii U, and my favorite game to watch outside of Halo and Call of Duty, Super Smash Bros. Melee, man.
My brother loves Super Smash Bros.
It's one of the most exciting
he's awful,
games ever.
He's good. He likes it.
And I was told we have a whole bunch of discounts. We'll give you guys all the details later, but you can get $100 off of your finals ticket. You can also support some of your favorite teams. We'll have a graphic for you guys tomorrow. It's only this weekend. $100 off your team pass to celebrate our 100th event. For now, though, let's get right back into the action. It is time for Riot Search and Destroy, the battle in the prison. And Matt, it all kind of started off on this map. Everyone would just purely go A. Then people started going through the middle. Then there was a few random B pushes. Where are we at right now in Call of Duty's metagame?
Still at A.
Still at A, man.
Still going down the A street. I mean, offense is so powerful on this map. I think you can throw something in like a B, but off the start, I think you'll see both teams try and take early advantage, try and get offensive round wins at A. You're able to stop the opposing team on a defense, maybe then try and, really throw a curveball in, then take that third round and try and go up 3-0. Go to a B site maybe, but looks like OG gonna start on offense. Gonna start off on the defensive side. Pucky, what you thinking?
Yeah, I'm going offense all the time.
Yeah.
We're gonna watch the Crimbot. Rough game with the ASM-1. Immediately goes back to the bow, and you're gonna see bomb carrier Scump in front of him. Gets picked immediately, but Krim and Formal answer back. Formal, of course, always with the sniper. That's gonna get his first shot on Apathy.
Yeah, it's 2 kills for each team going down right away. It's going to be Formal and Karma working together against Burns and Wheats. And you see, I don't think they have any idea, speaking of the guys on OG, where the guys on Rise have actually relocated to. So OG playing pretty passive now. I think Rise definitely has a chance to win this round, which would be huge. I mean, a defensive round win in round 1 is massive.
Karma did collect that bomb. And now we'll see how this plays out. In transition, Karma's gonna find Burns. That puts Wheats in a tough 1-on-2. 42 seconds left, bomb still not planted. Just try to play as close to the center as possible, not to peek over the edge.
He's in a fantastic spot though, Pocket. I mean, there was a position to make a play on this. He is in the perfect one.
Dip out, my friend, and he does successfully. So Formal, he's got a decision to make, Matt. Do you challenge? Do you go for the plant? He knows he's got a challenge, and Wheats just showed his face.
Knowing Formal, I would expect the challenge here. He really, it's really what he wants to do is probably challenge.
Now,
and he's going to do it.
Doing?
Wheats just needs to stay alive. Formal's going to go on the chase, though. I imagine he is going to hunt down this kill.
Come on, Wheats.
It's exactly how I expected Formal to play that. The guy he'll go for any kill imaginable. He chases actually a lot for some.
There is a massive difference between players like Dito and players like Wheats. Wheats playing with a lot of confidence there, but it's not the smartest play. You killed the bomb carrier, you have 20 seconds left, you checked it, you know he's not playing. Why do you battle one of the best valves in the game?
He was feeling good. It's just not good enough as Formal is able to win that one. That would have been a huge round for Rise, by the way. I mean, win a defensive side right off the rip. Expect them, I mean, obviously, it's not automatic, but offense is favored. You'd expect them to win this one. So you see Wheats getting first blood on Formal. They could have potentially put themselves up 2-0.
And the bomb is going to get down right before Burns gets tagged up. Apathy was in a good position here, and he will be able to trade efficiently. Karma going to be cleaned up from behind. This is going to make it a 2v3, Rise with the advantage, but so many times we have seen Optic turn the tides in just a moment. It looks like we're going to see Krim.
This is the hardest site, I think, maybe in all of Advanced Warfare to retake. When the other team plants, there are so many spots that you could watch it from. Krim immediately knows that, there's going to be 2 players from Rise looking right at him as soon as he comes out of that doorway, and Rise going to tie this one up, but I feel like they should be up 2-0.
I love Wheats' confidence, though. Gave him a little crap last time in the 1v1. He opens up with a kill on Formal at range in an even gunfight, and then he's able to clean up his second kill of the round in your round-ending kill cam. So 1-1, going back to Rise on defense, and I wanted to see, are there any snipers? It looks like Apathy feeling confident enough to hang with Formal in a 1v1 snipe battle.
And it looks like the guys on Rise just going to put all the pressure on the A side. So they're just going to challenge him straight up. And I like this. I mean, obviously, now that we see Apathy just ripping skulls, I do like the call, though, that just flood the A side. I mean, if OG is just going to not change anything up, just punish them for it. But
Karma's been spotted here, man. It's only a matter of time now.
Yeah, but I mean, this is, it's going to be a good round win for Rise. Like, they should be very happy about it. But to win 2 defensive sides on Riot and then kind of give away that 1 round, I mean, this is a start for Rise. They could potentially be up 4-0 when you look at it. They win that first round, you know, where Wheats lose that gun battle to Formal. They probably win this next offensive side. This is something that they could have had a 4-0 lead right off the bat.
Hey, man, it's 2 rounds in a row, and you just saw Apathy out-snipe Formal. Everything is good in Rise's world right now. Yeah. We'll see if they can keep it rolling.
You know, the way the first 2 maps went, they got to be pretty happy, even though they kind of gave that round away. I think OG needs to come up with something here. Maybe, you know, pushing straight through that A door. We see teams do it right onto that site and just challenge it straight up. But looks like they're going to play a little bit more of a, you know, spread out standard defensive setup.
A little default action here coming in, and this is going to be an all-out B push. There's actually 3 players all around the B bomb site. Apathy's going to sneak in, get the first blood. Wheat's in a position to trade with Karma. Karma with better shots, and Formal will snipe Burns out of the sky. But Chino also with the big gun in his pocket. He's got 1 player in front of him. Here it is. Oh, the pistol! Don't let it happen.
I don't know what he said, but the crowd is fired up.
Chino, can you please show us how you did this one more time?
That's a big play right there. He has been crushing all series long.
Yeah, he's been playing fearless against Optic as well, and I love that.
It's the way you have to play. Now, Rise with a 3-1 lead.
Hey, there's some Rise fans in the studio.
Yeah,
how you guys doing?
There's some rowdy Rise fans in the front. I see it.
I see you. Over to Optic aiming on their attack. Formal lost his last sniping duel. Was able to pick a round up on the defensive end as they just dropped round number 4. Formal looking for first blood. And he's going to spot his opponent. Can't hit the shot through the wall against Chino, and now you're going to see Bomb kind of stacked up in the middle. Optic Gaming taking their time this round, and I like to see it play out. Karma tagged up, can't escape well. Chino looking for more. Crim 6 is going to get cleaned up by Apathy and Wheats, so nice work so far by Rise on defense, playing this one very passive in a map that we say offense has the advantage.
I was going to say, from a defensive side of Riot, this is some of the best I've seen, you know, throughout the whole year. I mean, this is a pretty hard side of a map to win, and this is going to be, what, the 3rd round that Rise is going to win on the defensive side, or
potentially.
Yeah, I mean, potentially. It's just a very strong performance out of them. It kind of shows those first 2 games could have went either way.
And oh my goodness, Formal is going to hate the Moors for that one. Scump with bomb in hand is not going to go for the plant. Instead, he's going on the hunt. Here's one of the 2 kills they need. Now he's got a choice. Does he go to B bomb site or does he help chase down Wheats?
It is not a lot of time, though. You know, 9 seconds left to get this down.
Formal's got a clutch. And Wheats is going to lose the same gunfight again.
That could have gotten scary, though.
Oh, yeah.
If Wheats is up top, he kills Scump and then just, hopefully, backs away yet again. And that's another round that OG loses. But I feel like these close rounds are the ones that Rise really needs to put in their back pocket. And that's 2 that they let get away.
And that was a 2v3 clutch, by the way, from Scump and Formal. Another great performance. You said Rise is going to take it. I was like, hold your breath, man.
Yeah.
This is Optic Gaming. Off the break, Wheat switching up his class just slightly. We'll go over to Apathy, who's leading the charge with grenades. None connect, and he is going to go into battle right away. And actually, Apathy, sorry I switched off, is going to pick up the kill of Scump. Wheats is going to take out Crim. All of a sudden, Formal's the last man standing, and Rise is swarming Optic Gaming.
And, you know, Optic decides to fly out A and challenge it head on, and Rise took it to him. You see Apathy starting to heat up. That is a scary sight if you're an Optic Gaming fan. If Apathy, nope, they go on to win this one, you go into another respawn, he carries that over. Apathy is one of the biggest X factors in Call of Duty. When he is on fire and he is playing to the best of his abilities, he is one of the top players in all Call of Duty.
Apathy's kind of that boomer bust fantasy
Yes,
football
he
player
is.
for you. He's either going to drop 20 points for you or he's going to put up 3. Off the break, he is pulling out the sniper, trying to challenge Formal once again. Remember, last time we saw that duel, Apathy got not only Formal, he also picked up a second. And here he is, just missing the cold-blooded Formal wide left.
Yeah, and it's a smart adjustment for Formal to pull out cold-blooded. Looks like he's going to have the sniper rifle as well. So just a little bit of an adjustment. He feels confident in his sniper shot, just wants to be protected against the sniper of Apathy. But it's another round where OG is spending a lot of time just sitting around waiting, Chris. You know, that last round came down in 9 seconds when Scum planted the bomb. They can't afford to have another round like that.
Trying to play patient here. Wait for the right opportunity. Don't force anything. You're down 2 rounds. Have to play this one smart. Chino gonna watch as Apathy snipes over his shoulder for the first blood on Crim 6. Bomb does go down though. And now Chino pushing out. Is gonna get help from Wheats. Wheats picks up Karma, but Scump answers on Apathy. A 2v3, and Scump's gonna pick up a second Formal.
Oh.
The snipe on Chino's face. Incredible shot while going prone.
Yeah, and it's a 1v1 now, though. We got Burns going up against Scum. I'm going to jump on board with Scump. He is playing this so smart, Puckett. He knows exactly where Burns has to go.
Burns rotating over, but this is going to be Scumper. And as I say, Burns wins the fight. Does he have time? He gets stuck. And Burns is going to be frustrated there. He says, yeah, my bad. Yeah, my bad. I looked down and saw him talking to the team.
I don't know
That's
if
kind of a big round, but I don't know if he had time.
It would have been close.
Yeah, that's a fraction of a second that he would have time to pick up that bomb.
Yeah, he would have had he would have to do that pretty quick. I don't think he would have had enough time anyway. And it reminds me of a play we saw at COD Champs. I'm trying to remember who it was when Sin, he went to go defuse the bomb, picked up a gun instead, and kind of the same type of thing. Same map actually as well, but right off the start of this round, though,
There you go,
a
Shane.
fast push by OG, and we do have some Rise fans here tonight.
Yeah, the Rise fans are showing strong here in Columbus, Ohio. Karma gets bombed down. He's going to stand on top of it for a minute. Meanwhile, you saw Chino open up with a snipe, but back down wisely after Optic got in his face. So now, Karma and Formal just playing some passive defense. Same thing could be said about the offense. They don't want to make a mistake here.
And do you think Formal, well, that's the answer to that one.
I tried to switch to him,
anyway,
jumped up the scoreboard.
I was going to say, I was like, do you think Formal saw Apathy? And as soon as I was about to say it, he just got drilled with a sniper bullet in his head.
All right, Chino, you're up 4-2. What do you do here in a 1v2?
And we've seen Chino pull off some amazing stuff with the Moors. Let's see if he can do it here. I think he's got to challenge these battles. He's not going to win doing what I think he's going to try and do.
Karma up top, knife out, gets spotted. Chino misses just wide left, and it's only a matter of time before the teamwork comes in. Or is it? Chino lands on his opponent.
I don't know what, if he would have hit that, I don't know what I would have done. I would have thrown my headset through the monitor maybe. That would have been the silliest thing ever.
I was halfway stood up, Matt. My right leg was extended. Left leg still sat in the chair.
He got close to at least getting a shot off.
Yeah.
If he gets a shot off, I mean, I don't think he hits it, but that would have been a scary sight. I mean, even if he somehow pulls out the pistol. I mean, we've seen what he does with the pistol, and that would have been a pretty wild play, one of the wildest in AW.
This comeback all started with a 2v3 clutch from Scump and Formal. Off the break, you're going to see first blood go to Karma. Crim already hunting, and he will find the second. Rise Nation unraveling in front of us all. Wheats, last man standing, and no one drops for Optic in round 9. Optic Gaming going up now 5-4.
If you're Rise, I wouldn't panic, though. I mean, you go back on an offensive side. You have a chance to force a round 11, but you got to think back earlier into the game, those 2 rounds that we kind of said Rise gave away. They would definitely love to have, both of those now.
Would love to have him back.
Yes.
And we will start things off with Wheats as he is back on the attack. This is match point for Optic Gaming. Rise Nation needs to win 2 in a row just to get their second win here in the best of 7.
And Rise is going to play a little bit passive, going to wait for all these nades to come out before they elect to push. I believe you heard a sniper rifle shot in the back. Apathy's going to be able to pick up 1, so big first blood in favor of Rise Nation. You see, the bomb all the way in the back. Not going to move it up just yet. I think they're trying to spread the defense out of OG, maybe pick up another player, but Crim picking up a big kill there on Wheats, even it up at 3 apiece.
And Burns just put some shots out. almost took down Formal, but Formal escapes with his life. So now Burns, the bomb carrier, a little bit of a rotation will go over to Optic Gaming. And it looks like the player to watch is actually going to be at the top of your screen. See what Big Daddy Scump's up to.
Yeah, and I don't think he saw the player on B bomb, so Rise going to get bombed down. They know exactly where Scump is. Apathy with a smart play not to back down right there. Formal, we're going to pick up Chino. And you see OG, they're starting to swarm on the mini-map. This is not a good spot for Rise.
Triangulation, man. Like Raptors, they swarm, and that will be it. Scump gonna get your final defuse. This match is over from 4-2 to 6-4. Optic Gaming mounts a 4-round comeback to seal the deal.
It's a series that I feel like Rise could have pushed a little bit further, but OG, I mean, they are just so strong, and that's the difference between these teams, right? Now, when you make a mistake against Optic, they penalize you for it. I mean, they really hurt you. Rise, just 1 or 2 mistakes on each map, really, this could have been a round 11 game. The compound hardpoint was really close. Uplink, that one could have gone down to the wire as well if they played a little bit different. So very good Rise performance even in a loss.
Yeah, and I think Rise, they're kicking themselves now. Apathy and Chino were slow to get it started. They really heated up towards the end. You see Apathy dropping 12 kills, only 8 deaths, some ridiculous snipes, outshooting Formal sometimes. Formal, on the other hand, 11-5 was pretty lights out throughout this series for me.
Yeah, I mean, OG, everybody had their shining moments. I thought Chino played great for Rise. I mean, if he plays like that the rest of the tournament and they get Apathy, play like he did the last 2 maps, I mean, this Rise team is going to be around all weekend. Expect them to be playing on Sunday.
Well, Rise, they're going to have a tough road through the losers bracket. Now Optic Gaming is going to push in to our Final 4 in the winners bracket. But for now, let's send it down to our analyst to break down all of the action. Chance, Jack, take it away.
Thank you, Puckett and Matt. Another great series here at the MLG Pro League Season 3 Championships. Optic Gaming able to take that one with a map count of 4-1. Chance, did you expect anything different?
Oh, I mean, 4-0 maybe. But yeah, 4-1 actually, that's what I said, and only because people were saying 4-0 and I was trying to be different. But no, coming into it, I think, again, 99% of people thought Optic Gaming was going to win without much of a doubt. Now, Rise did make it interesting towards the end. They beat them on compound hardpoint, which I don't think many people predicted at all. Some of them, not even putting up massive performances. But again, all 4 players showing up to the game and doing at least what they needed to do. Like, I think Burns finished off like -4, -5, but had like, 15, 16 caps, was always in the hill. I think that 4th hill on that rotation as well. Each instance, milking all the time he possibly could.
Now, we're going to hop into, obviously, that game a little bit later on, but let's start off with the beginning of this series. Detroit Hardpoint, it was Optic Gaming dominated all game long. Crim6 went on an 8 streak. Optic Gaming just winning the gunfights inside the Hardpoint, also on the rotations. If they weren't the ones rotating, they were there to pick up the entry kills, and it happened time and time again. Through the first 5 minutes, it looked like OG was going to win that one 250-100, completely blow out Rise. Then Rise was able to kind of keep it a little bit close, keep it within a minute. That was really the best they could do. In that one, when you're Rise Nation and you just got done beating TK 4-0 and you lose that first game in pretty dominating fashion, what do you do as a squad? What do you like to see them communicate to each other?
It's tough, because you want to carry the momentum. And as soon as you get beat, I think one of the things you say is, hey, we just lost to Optic Gaming on Hardpoint. No big deal. It happens to everybody. So we just have to bounce back and make sure that we win the Search and Destroy. Because I've actually seen Rise play quite a bit of Search and Destroy on recovery. They're a very good squad. And Chino is showing a lot of life as well to start. I think the first round he picked up 3 kills, 2 of which were with the sniper rifle. Was at 5-1, 2 rounds in. And then after that, really not much life coming out of Rise.
We saw Crim then go into game number 2. Clutches the 1v3. There was a questionable challenge there for Wheats. Puckett talked about it a little bit. What was your thought process you think you saw from Wheats there? Was he just trying to chase down the kill because he saw him, was trying to play confidently? Or should he have waited for Crim to plant the bomb and then kind of react to what was going on the map?
It's one of those things that, when we're casting, we are like omniscient. We can see everything that's going on, so we can, easily make those decisions more so than the players can. But in the moment, you have, just a few seconds to decide. Obviously, Wheats knew basically where Crim6 was. They both knew each other. Where Crim6, of course, all the confidence in the world, he's not going to back down from that challenge at all. Wheats could have challenged time, but 2 options. He just, he rolled the dice, just didn't work out for him.
Crim finished that one 11-6.
That's
pretty strong performance in Search and Destroy. We then moved into Parliament Uplink. And on this map, it was really interesting coming into things just because, obviously, you see the 4 ARs really just used for either team. We saw, obviously, Scump pulling it out. We've seen them used by everyone on that map. Going into it, What did you think coming in for Rise was going to be their key to victory on that map?
Again, it's sort of a situation where all 4 players are going to need to perform. I think, like in the Hardpoint next match, that's when all 4 players showed up. I can't remember the stats for the Uplink, but it just didn't seem like they ever had any sort of momentum. Like, Chino was getting so hyped during that match, and it just seemed like the other 3, it's not that they were dead. They were still making call-outs, which is just kind of like, I died, here's where I spawned, here's who killed me, and then they just kind of move on from there. There was like a bit of a lack of intensity. Nothing was really going in their favor, and just kind of reflecting. Like, they were down by, I think it was 2 points at the half. Yeah, and then they were going into good side, and then they just didn't find anything for them.
Yeah, it didn't really wind up going in their favor, but then we moved into game number 4, Compound Hardpoint. This was really the interesting one. Rise got out to an early lead. They got Optic Gaming down 4-0. It was the only really strong start we saw from them all series long on that map. Really, the difference maker for me was their break they had. They immediately got the momentum in their favor. You mentioned the hype in the booth. That was really the first time we saw a lot of energy out of Burns. We saw Apathy getting into it in that game as well. He continued that one, obviously, into the Search and Destroy. But on that map, they got out to a lead. Burns continued to stay alive in the hard point. What was the difference on that map that let Burns play like that, let him play so free compared to the first game?
I don't want to just chalk it up to intensity, because obviously there's always the debate of like how much of an effect does hype have on the way players play.
Yeah.
But for those final 3 minutes, Rise, that was the most intense I've heard a team probably this entire tournament so far. They were just going crazy. And obviously, they were fighting the entire game. They had to play well the entire time just to hold on. I think they went down at one point by, 30, 40 points. They started making a comeback. They had a 30-point lead. Optic Gaming starts to come back. And in the end, they were just able to hold on. But again, those final 3 minutes when they needed to clutch up most, that's when Rise was really getting intense.
Yeah, so I'm going to point out there was Burns had a 1.18 KD on that map, 15 captures, 8 defense. What I think worked so well on that map for the boys on Rise was Burns matched the aggression that he had against TK when they beat them 4-0 in that series, when he dominated both hardpoint game modes. He brought it out against Optic Gaming, and it worked in their favor. We then moved into Riot Search and Destroy for that game number 5. Honestly, a map that I thought Rise was going to win at one point. They were looking very strong, but then it began to really fall apart. Let's talk about Formal momentarily. With that Morse, he had it on basically all game long. In that situation, is he the only player in the game in all of Call of Duty that you think can just run that Morse no matter what the round is from his skill with it?
I think there's a few that can do it. Chino's another good example. Honestly, he's been impressing me a lot with this sniper. Even Apathy in that same game, but I would still say Formal, maybe he's not the top dog, but if not, he is right there on that level. And definitely he could play the entire game with a sniper rifle. Even in like Hardpoint, I would honestly feel confident with Formal sniping the entire time.
He continued to drop players in that entire one. Almost had a shaky round there against Chino, where Chino almost was able to turn on him with the Morse. The entire crowd almost stood up at one moment, but it didn't wind up working out. So that was really the Optic Gaming versus Rise series, able to take that one 4-1. Up next, though, we're going to be seeing FaZe versus Envy to close out the night on the main stage. I do believe there's also another match going on Bravo to close out the night over there. Quick prediction from you, really quickly. Where do you think that series is going to go?
This actually came up on the bracket show a while back. I picked Envy to win. It's a best-of-7 series, so the map count's going to be tough to predict. I don't think there's any way that it doesn't go to Game 6 or Game 7, no matter who comes out on top, just because these two teams have faced off many, many times in the past. I think the past, 3 or 4 lands, they've gone head-to-head. And FaZe has always come out on top. Nonetheless, though, I think there's 3 DLC maps that are going to be in rotation. I think Envy takes the win.
All right, well, do not go anywhere. When we come back, our final match of the night, FaZe versus the boys in blue.
All right, guys, we are back live from the MLG.TV arena. Puckett here with Scumpy. Scump, congrats on a big win, my friend. How you feeling to start off this weekend?
Feeling really good. The first match is always the hardest, so to draw first blood against a good team in Rise feels really well. I think that we're going to carry it into tomorrow. I believe we're going to play ISO, I think, in the semifinals, so I'm looking forward to that match.
Yeah, I don't know. Did ISO and Optic Nation finish? I know that match was going down, so that's the top half of the winners bracket.
I thought that they were already through that side of the bracket already.
Just dealing with it. We'll get a proper update a little bit later. But right now, we got a FaZe and Envy loading up here on the main stage. Before we get to that match, we got to talk about the previous one. Did you expect Rise to 4-0 TK and make it to you guys?
Rise is a really good team. We've played them multiple times with this same roster. I expected them to beat TK, not a 4-0. That was sort of a landslide victory, but I expected them to beat them and then play them today. So they're a really good team, and they played us pretty solid. So
Rise was looking pretty good, a little bit inconsistent, but they were able to take a game off of you. It was compound Hardpoint. What went wrong on that map?
A couple things went wrong. We got outslayed a little bit, I believe, and then our rotations were really slow. They beat us to 2 of the money hills both times, and they held it for like the full 60 seconds. So I don't know if there are graphs or anything out there, but it had to have been like 100 to 20 in those 2 hills.
Yeah, they really did clutch up on hills 4 and 5 there. Now, talk to me a little bit about your search and destroy game. First search and destroy, looking pretty solid. Second search and destroy, a little bit rough. You were down 4-2. You were part of that clutch there with Formal. What was happening there in round number 7 to bring it back?
The 2v4 with me and Formal, we played it really, really well, actually. I killed their third story. It was one of their snipers, and we were like, okay, they're sniping. They're basically taking that person off the map, because if you get in a close range engagement, it's almost a free win. So I killed him, killed one bottom squeeze. Matt got a kill, and then I was just going to stay alive until Burns had to get on the bomb.
And then you guys were able to finish that one out. You didn't drop a single round. What kind of changed in that game on Riot?
Really that 2v4 momentum shifts like that in S&D, especially on a map like Riot. Clutching is everything. So whenever we got that clutch, we just took that momentum. The next round, I think we killed them, all 4 of them, pretty quickly. Then the last round, we clutched up again. They got bombed down, and we just took over the bomb site. So,
well, you guys came in with an undefeated record through the regular season. You won Season 1. Top in the regular season. You won Season 2, top in the regular season. What's Scumpy's prediction for the rest of this weekend?
Can't be jinxing us like that, but I think it's going to be a really good tournament. I think we're going to play FaZe in the winners finals like everyone expects, and whoever wins that, I believe, is going to end up winning the tournament.
Now, I saw you hanging out with the Envy boys. You just said you think you'll be seeing FaZe making their way through. Envy's going up against FaZe next year on the main stage. What were you saying to Aqua and the boys?
I was just telling them to use a lot of stuns, because they use a lot of stuns already, so I was telling them to stick to their game, and I know FaZe, they don't really use the perk that blocks stuns, Hardwired, I believe it is, so just telling them to stun them.
Stun them up, my friend. All right, give me a prediction here, FaZe, Envy.
Probably 4-2 or maybe 4-3 FaZe. We'll see.
All right, I'm hoping for a Game 7. Scumpy, I know your team's going to go have some dinner and relax. Thank you once again. Congratulations, big win, guys. One more match here on Alpha as well as Bravo. You can catch it all right here on MLG.TV.